Hey guys, and welcome back for another tutorial. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make this super cute, great Stash Buster Christmas ornament. Now with all my tutorials, there will be a link in the description box below where you can find all the measurements and tools I use in all my videos. And of course, if you're not already, I would love it if you subscribed, hit that notification bell, and of course smash the like button, as the kids like to say. Okay, so let's get into the tutorial. So for this tutorial, you will need 4 strips of fabric, which is great because the ornament kind of looks like it's quilted, but it's actually a lot less complicated than creating a quilted ornament. So all you need to do is take those 4 strips of fabric and we're going to fold them in half lengthways and we're going to press that. And then we're going to fold in the sides a little, like a 1/4 of an inch, and we'll press that again. We're just kind of finishing off the edges. So we're going to make them into sort of like mini straps. And with that being said, you could just make this out of a really stiff, maybe grosgrain ribbon if you wanted to. So you wouldn't have to necessarily do this. And also for the next step, I am choosing to sew my little strips of fabric to make them into like straps, but you could also just use fabric glue. So this could be a completely no-sew project if you wanted it to, but also adding that stitching detail will just add a little bit more dimension to your ornament, especially if you're using a fabric maybe that's solid and that you could actually see the stitches. So I'm just going to sew down the one side that's open, but if you want to do both sides, you could do that as well. And as for most of my projects, I usually like to bump up to a 3 stitch length just because I think that it looks a little bit better when I'm doing my top stitching and you can sort of see the stitches more clearly. So I'm just going to do that to all of my strips. So like I said before, if you want to use a glue stick and press it as you go, or use some fabric glue and add some dabs here and there, then you can do that during the construction process. So the next thing we're going to do is to actually make the ornament. So we're going to take 2 of the strips, one from each color or design, whatever you have. We're going to fold those in half and we're going to offset the fold by about 1 inch. And then we're going to place one inside the other. So hopefully you guys can understand. I'll go as slow as I can go. It's a little bit tricky, especially the first time, but you're going to take one of them and we'll open it up and then we'll place the other one inside like this. This next shot I actually flipped it, so I'm sorry about that. Hopefully it's not confusing to you. So now I'm going to take a second strip, and making sure that the strips are parallel, we're going to slip the raw end through the loop of the other one. So as you can see, that it's still offset and the offset portion is facing me. And again, we're going to take that last piece with it offset. The offset part is facing up. We're going to wrap it around and then we'll slip both ends through the bottom loop there. So hopefully you can see that better than I can explain it. But now we're kind of just weaving it. And then we're going to pull each side evenly to make it all nice and tight and secure and there's no gaps on the inside. So after that, then we're going to start to fold down each strip. And we're going to do it in a way so that we can make sure that it all again overlaps and looks like it's being weaved. So I'm just going to fold them down, and then where it needs to be, I'm going to lift one, and then I have to take this end and actually pull up this part and then place it through so that it looks exactly the same as it does on the other side. Looks like sort of like a weaved basket. And then we can start working on the points of our star. So you're just going to take each strip and then we're going to create a triangle by taking it and folding it away from the center like this, and then we'll flip it and then fold it again to make that triangle, and then we'll fold it in half. And then there should be a little spot in front of it where you can tuck that little tail in. So if the tail is too long like this, then you're just going to snip it so that it's about half the size. And then I'm just going to slip that end into the center of the ornament. So this is where you might want to add a dab of glue. just to keep it secure. It would be okay, but depending on your fabric that you choose and everything, it could come apart. So I definitely would recommend adding a dab of glue in there, or you could just sew on top of it. So it's up to you what you want to do. So I'm just going to keep going by taking each little tail there and then folding it into a triangle and then folding it in on itself, tucking in that little raw end. So I'm going to do a close-up view in a moment so you guys can hopefully have a better look. At this point I have made these a few times, so I was getting the hang of it. But as you can see here, you actually want to make sure that you do it away from the little, see there's a little opening there. So as you can see, this is how I did it. So you want to make sure that you fold it away from that little opening so that you're able to tuck in that raw end there. So it goes in that little pocket right there. So hopefully that will help you and you can keep going from here. See that little pocket right there. And now I'm just going to speed through the rest of it. But this is such a great tutorial because you could just make the strips up, just make a ton of them, and then just sit in front of the TV and just make a bunch. And it would be such a cute little gift to give to somebody, you know, maybe a little pack of 4, a little pack of 6, so that they can adorn their Christmas tree around the holidays. So I'm just going to speed through the rest of the making of this ornament so that you can see the whole process, and then I'm going to show you guys how to add a little embroidery floss so that you can hang it on your tree. So here I'm just adding some dabs of glue in between the little pockets and little folds just to make sure everything stays nice and secure. And then I'm going to add my embroidery floss right in between those 2 points in the star, and I'll just tie that off. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and if you do decide to make it, I would love to see it, so please follow us over on Facebook and Instagram. All those links will be in the description box below, and I hope that you're enjoying the 12 days of Christmas tutorials, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye guys!